You know how I feel. I think Jameson Williams is going to lead this team in receiving yards next year. So maybe that is a little low for Amon-Ra St. Brown because you still do want to give him the respect. I think he'll be well over 1,000 yards. So I would still take the over on that one, but I don't think he's going to be up at 1,400 next year. I think he's going to be at 1,100 to 1,200.
Yeah, definitely over 1050 though. I mean, that's insane.
Definitely over 1050.
When I saw that, same way we did the NBA draft lottery this week, and we smacked on it. No, the stool. Sorry, the same way we saw that we raced the numbers. That's what I did with the Amon-Ra one, and it already went up to 1,075. So like even they're kind of like, oh wait a minute, we might have messed up here. That was insane to me. And then you said Jamo may lead the team in receiving. Spinny, his over under was at 750.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's pretty crazy. I think that's because they're scared and they have to because of his history, because of obviously the suspensions and the injury. I think that Jamo's a little skewed. Like if you were to tell the odds makers that Jameson Williams is playing 17 games this year, no matter what, I don't think that they would put it that low. But because he's got a checkered past, so they have to factor that in a little bit. But yeah, I think Jamo smashes the over on that as well. I think Jamo's up to 1,300, 1,400 yards next year. You're muted. Idiot.
Sorry, I apologize. I was telling my son to grab paper towel. He's got it now. Good job.
Good job, boy.
That's a big jump, man.
I know.
1,000 to 14. Listen, either way you look at it, he's going over 750. I think even if the season isn't completed, like he's going to, if he plays 14 games, I think 750 is a lock, especially the way you hear the new offensive coordinator, Johnny Mo, talk about him. Johnny Mo, we talked about too. I don't know if you guys know, if you're listening, a former wide receiver who ran a 4.3 himself.
Got burners.
Burners. So he might favor Jameson Williams a little bit in that offense. And I think the coolest thing we saw to Jamo last year, because I remember the talks being about he only runs deep routes. They won't give him any other opportunities. Last year, you saw those other opportunities. He was taking those intermediate routes, and he was damn near the Yak King. I think he averaged the most yards per game after the catch on the season, above everybody, like everyone, including Amon-Ra St. Brown. So it's like, I don't think you're crazy. I definitely don't think you're crazy.
We got a couple people. If Keitho in the Woodward Sports Chat says facts, he sees Jamo or Woodward Sports Chat. Sorry, Force of Habit. In the Lions Nation Unite chat, he says facts. Spenny, I see Jamo leading the team in receiving yards. Brian Ty says, listen, we've added pieces to the trenches offensively and defensively, and at defensive back and more wideouts and another safety. We are still dangerous. I agree. I think they added some great pieces to this team. And they're still one of the best rosters, if not the best roster in the NFL when healthy. But, with Jameson Williams, last year just squeaked over the 1,000-yard mark. He was, 1,006 or something like that.
1,001.
1,001. Really just squeaked over the 1,000-yard mark. And that is with 2 games removed from the regular season. So you look at that, and I think it's safe to say Jamo could have gotten an extra 150 yards in those 2 games if he would have played that. And on top of that, he only had, 58 receptions or something like that last year. So as you alluded to, I expect him to get a lot more looks. I expect him to get a lot more shots in this Johnny Morton offense, play action down the field. I think he's going to go out there. I think he's going to have a hell of a season. And we've heard now from multiple different coaches, pretty much everybody on the offensive training staff, that Jameson Williams is just locked in. Like he has been locked in all summer long. He is showing up. I think it was Scotty Montgomery. He said, I'd never seen him like this before. He's showing up. He's locked in. He's dialed in the meetings and during film study and stuff like that. So I'm expecting big things out of Jamo this year.
Yeah, I think that's the part where I mean, guys like us, everyone watching, we're all kind of sickos, right? It's May, and we're talking Detroit Lions football, and like you're looking at you. There's been years now. Jameson Williams been here for 3-4 years now, and this is the first year we're starting to hear that part of it. And that's the type of stuff you hear about Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's the type of stuff you hear about the greats when they lock in and they're watching that film. Like they level up even more than what they are physically. And I think we know what Jameson Williams has been physically. I think last year you saw him level up in terms of like the playbook in itself and the route running, especially hands too. And now it's just crazy to watch his development because it's been, I'll admit it, it's been a little bit of a slow process. And obviously he came in with a torn ACL and there's some maturity stuff in there, which I don't even actually want to say that because that gambling stuff was kind of BS. But either way, Jameson Williams, like following all that stuff, became him. And now he's going to level up even more. Yeah, sign me up. That 750, if you guys are late to the stream, 750 was the over-under for Jameson Williams receiving yards set by FanDuel Sportsbook. We are putting the mortgage on that. No,
yeah.
I don't know if I should be allowed to. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah,
don't lose your house because of me, but I would do it.
I would too. I would too. And Darcy Maville in the Lions Nation Unite chat says, do you pay him? I absolutely would. I think I would do it now personally, but I don't know if Jameson Williams would do that, especially with the season that I'm projecting for him. If I was Jamo, I would wait until after the year, after you make the Pro Bowl team for the first year, because obviously he couldn't last year because of the suspension. If you get maybe all pro honors looking at towards the end of the year, these are things that would bump up your price a lot. So I don't know if Jameson Williams would sign the contract just yet, but yeah, I forget what. Oh, you're talking about the things that changed from last year. You talked about the hands improving, the route tree improving, and I think the comfortability in the chemistry with him and Jared Goff was really on display last year. You saw Jared Goff trusting him a lot more and throwing him not just when he's wide open or not just if he's standing in the middle of the field by himself. Jared Goff and Jameson Williams really got on the same page to where Goff trusted him, knowing he's going to be in this spot at this point of the route, so I'm going to throw the ball there before Jameson Williams is even there, like he does with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta and the other guys, because that's Jared Goff, and this offense is very timing-based and spot-based when you look at where he throws the ball. So he got that with Jameson Williams towards the end of last year, where you saw him kind of throwing these balls to Jamo before Jamo even made his break, because he knew that Jamo was going to be there and make the catch. So I think another offseason of cultivating that chemistry and finally a full offseason of them playing together is only going to help in that.
Yeah, I guess to answer the question, the contract question, I think this year's season will probably solve that. And as of now, I do believe he's probably out of the picture just in terms of the type of money wide receivers demand and the type of guys we have to pay. We're already paying an all-pro wide receiver with an all-pro contract, like $30 million. That's just insane. Remember, like just 3 years ago, that was Jared Goff, and he was the fourth highest paid in the league at the quarterback position. But in terms of Jameson Williams growing and probably changing that narrative or changing that conversation for Brad Holmes is that stuff that Johnny Mo was talking about, him being in the film room. I think that's going to work out extremely well for him, because how many times do we see him catch a short pass last year in terms of like a screen or something like that, and unfortunately would get blown up, or he'll just his leg might get caught. I think that's the type of stuff he's watching film on to kind of divvy up the holes or the lead blocks and stuff like that, because obviously everything else he had in the bag, like you said, the intermediate routes and catching that stuff, like brother, every single one of those was going for crazy yards. He's got that in the bag. I think it's more so like just the field general or just field direction type of stuff that he has to work on. I think that's where we see him level up. And if he does that, he becomes like primo. If you said, that 1,400 yards you said, if that happens, I'm sure that conversation changes for Brad Holmes, and they do find a way to pay him, because he'll be truly special at that point. He already is special right now. Like if he's doing that stuff, insane.
And I agree 100%. I think you look at some of the small things on his game that he can make tweaks to are containing his speed and his explosiveness until the blocks are set up or the situation is right. Like on one of those plays where you get the screen to the outside, he's just trying to go. As soon as he gets the ball, he's trying to go, instead of maybe waiting an extra half second for one of those offensive linemen to get that ceiling block that'll open a lane for you. He tries to kick it right to the sideline and get as fast as he can going down the sideline, and he'll get blown up a little bit. But I think shout out Danny G in the chat.
You see his profile picture?
Yeah. But I think feeling his blocks more and allowing the offense to kind of set up before he uses that explosiveness is something that he's going to improve in. And like you said, that's a lot of film study, because I guarantee Scotty Montgomery is breaking down some of those plays. Like, look, Jamo, we got you on a swing route here and you got 5 yards out of it. But if you would have waited an extra half second for Panay to get over there and block this guy out, you would have had an open lane to a touchdown. So we're going to see stuff like that.
You know what's probably helping him in that too? Scotty Montgomery coming from that running back room where you're quite literally teaching them to follow blocks and be patient for holes to open up. So Scotty Montgomery, because he's a natural like wide receiver coach, so for him to have that experience with backs as special as Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery, like Jahmyr Gibbs, we talked about when he was drafted. He's kind of patient. He's got that Le'Veon Bell, but the Jamal, who the hell am I even thinking of? The guy who played the Chiefs. Jamal Charles, like speed. Jamal faster, to be honest with you. He's got an insane burst. Special Olympics burst. And for Scotty Montgomery to go from, teaching that, constantly watching film on that with those guys to now his wide receiver room and then helping Jameson Williams flourish in that role, I think it's a match made in heaven, to be honest with you. And I'm just now connecting these dots. These are thoughts I'm just now putting together. And Jameson Williams probably going to go crazy. Johnny Morton's literally come out and said, I want to give him the ball more. I want to have more explosives.
As you should. Every time you get the ball to him, he goes for 20 yards. Like, he averages 20 yards a reception almost. So, I think it's good. You have probably the two most explosive players in the NFL in Jameson Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs. So, this offense is going to be even more fun to watch, I think, with the way Scotty – I feel like the way Scotty coaches and runs his offense is kind of like – that old boxer. He's going to jab you. He's going to jab you. He's going to jab you. Run. And then play action. Boom. You got the hook over the top. And that's where we're going to see a Jameson Williams bomb. And like, you look at what Jamo does. And we mentioned Amon-Ra St. Brown's receiving yard total at just under 1,100 yards, which we think you should easily smash the over on that. That is off of sheer volume of passes alone. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to get so many targets. He's going to get so many receptions that it's like there's no way he doesn't get that. Jameson Williams is, if he gets 8 targets a game and completes on 3 of them, he could have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns on 3 catches. So, like, it's just completely different when you look at how they get their yards. But I think both of them are going to be up there.
Yeah, I guess the other thing I'll say, too, the counterpoint, I guess I'll say, I think it was our boy Skywalker that made this one, is that, like, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or no, maybe it was Nick. I don't remember which one of these guys made the point, but it's like Jameson Williams going deep like that and running these explosive routes, that's going to leave opportunity in situations where Amon-Ra St. Brown is just open and he's going to make the right play. And I can see that happening, too, just based on the fact they said, why would I change what's working? And then we got to see these numbers come out this week. Boom.
Yes.
These are the completion percentage for quarterbacks when a wide receiver has had over a step of separation. And Jared Goff leads it. I won't say comfortably because Tua's right there, and so is Baker. But Jared Goff is number 1, 77% completion percentage on these wide receivers when they got 1 foot of separation. Or he's going to throw to a wide open guy. That's how you have to operate an offense, Jared Goff. It's got to be very system dominant. You got to find the open man. And if it is Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm just making the counterpoint to it.
He's going to
That's
throw
why
it.
He's leading the league. Yeah, it's going to be him.
Yeah.
But I still believe those explosives will be there for Jameson Williams. To the basis of everything, that's 750. Come on. Well, I mean, the disrespect.
Yeah. And you look at that that list, and I think the 3 people at the top of it, Jared Goff, Tua, and Baker, they all have so many weapons in their offenses. Like you look at Miami's offense, you got Waddle and Hill and A-Chain. You look at, obviously, Tampa Bay's offense with Bucky Irving, who stepped up, and then Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. And then, obviously, we know all the weapons the Detroit Lions have. But when you have, I think, at least 3 guys on any given play that could break a game or break a play open for a touchdown. It's so hard for a defense to keep all of those guys under wraps and keep all of those guys covered. So that's where you see at least one guy every play pretty much either wide open or running down the field. Like it's you lose these. It's like, oh shit, we have to double team Amon-Ra St. Brown, but that leaves Sam Laporta wide open on the other side of the field. Or oh, we have to put a safety over the top to help on Jamo, but that allows Amon-Ra St. Brown to go one-on-one with a linebacker. Like it's you have to pick your poison. And Goff, knowing the offense as well as he does, being in the offense for so long and being so comfortable with these guys, he's going to see what the defense is trying to take away and go to the piece that is going to be open.
Absolutely. And that's why this offense has been so deadly over the past 3 years. Even before we've gotten other pieces, just the draw, I mean, this guy's gone, so I'm not going to hype up that part of it. But now we got these pieces on top of just great offensive play calling that it's just truly unstoppable. It really, really, really is. Like you can't focus on any one piece on top of the fact you got an offensive line that could just force the ball down your throat at any given moment. And then beyond that, if you get past the first couple of tacklers, you got a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs get to the crib then after. It's just it's been orchestrated masterfully by Brad Holmes in that front office, building up this roster, and Dan Campbell hopefully he's got another wunderkind, as you call him, at the offensive coordinator position.